Hey everyone, I am Tom, the Sunday Dinner Chef. Today we're going to Cuba.
The Sunday Dinner Chef will make you feel fine. Sit down, let's have a drink and enjoy the show.
I'm going to be making a roast pork, which is the shoulder cut, roast pork mojo. And what I'm going to do is this is going to get trimmed up a little bit. It's going to get put into a holding pot, and we're going to marinate it. We're going to marinate it in oranges. I couldn't get sour oranges, but I'm going to use 2 oranges to get the juice. Also the juice of 1 lime. Also I'm going to be using a lemon because I want that sour effect. And also about 10 cloves of garlic that's going to get crushed up in for this marinade. Now the seasoning is going to be Mexican oregano. This stuff is really fantastic. If you don't use this, you need to pick it up. It's fairly cheap, and I tell you what, it really has a great flavor. It'll change your mind on the other oregano. Also, I'm going to be using cumin. Now, cumin to me is a really good spice, and this is going to enhance this flavor here. Okay, let's get going. Okay, this is 7-pound pork shoulder. Okay, bone in. Now, I was going to debone it, but you know what? It holds the integrity of the meat a little bit together, gives it a little more flavor. So I'm going to leave the bone in on that. Let me wash my hands. So what we want to do is, the whole idea of marinating this pork is what we want to do is we want to get the marinade inside the pork. So I'm going to take my fork here and I'm going to stab it, okay, just to get some holes in it, so that when I do pour the marinade, which is a orange, it is a sour citrus flavor. Now you would usually use sour oranges, can't find them. So what we do is we substitute that for, let's roll this over. I'm going to get it all in here. So we substitute that with a regular orange and also some lime. I'm going to add a little lemon to it and just give it that little bit more citrusy flavor, a little more sour. This is so good. I tell you, I made this a while ago and just trying different stuff. And I tell you, it was really good. I love pork anyway, so cooking with this pork shoulder, just look at this. Just look at how red this meat is right here around that bone. That is so tender and juicy. I tell you what, it's going to be really good. All right, that's enough holes. Now I'm going to do this with fat side up, and that's actually how I'm going to cook it also. Let me just rinse my hands off. Always try to keep yourself nice and clean with this. Now, I'm going to be adding in some olive oil, and I'm just going to, this is going to help the marinade stick to the pork a little bit. And I'm going to take a little brush here and brush this off like this. Now, you can add salt and pepper to it right now. I'm going to wait until I get the marinade on here. This is going to sit in a refrigerator covered with a plastic wrap for 24 hours. Then I'm going to roast it in the oven. This is going to be fantastic. Look at that orange right there. Okay. Now, looking at from the bag what I bought it for, it has a very, not a sour taste, but a different taste from an orange. This is going to work perfect in this mojo right here. I'm telling you what. Get a smell. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this juice out in here. I'm not going to bore you with me squeezing the juice, so we'll be right back. Okay, I made an executive decision. What I did was I took, it didn't look like enough, it was going to be enough juice in here. So what I did was I sectioned it, and I put some orange zest in there, and also sections of the orange itself, squeezed in some lime, and now I'm going to squeeze it in the lemon. Now what's that going to do? Okay, it's going to give it a little bit more pulpy. I'm going to puree it into a juice, but it's not going to be like traditional juice itself. So I'm going to put them off to the side. And I'm just going to keep on squeezing it. Okay, now we're going to be making the marinade for it. I'm going to put in a nice tablespoon of Mexican oregano. Also, I'm going to be adding in some dried, that we have right here, some dried cilantro. And put that in there. I didn't get a good enough scoop on that. I'm going to be adding in 10 cloves of garlic. Also the juice, okay, plus the pulp, and also the rind. I'm going to pour that all in here. Come on, baby, get in there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of olive. Also, I'm going to be adding in, this is starting to become, starting to use this a lot. I forgot about it over the years. I'm also going to be putting in a, probably two teaspoons in there. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to mix this up. Okay, the marinade Mojo is made. I'm just going to pour this gently over the pork and try to make sure it gets all around it. Right off the bat, I get the cumin. I also get the garlic. Well, the citrus is there. This I think is going to work out really well. So what I want to do again is just poke it one more time. Okay, and then I'm going to pick it up, move it over. Mojo itself traces back to the Canary Islands, where it originated in the 15th century. Spanish colonists brought it to Cuba in the 16th century, adapting it for the local ingredients and taste. Native Caribbean ingredients like sour orange and plantains, along with African culinary traditions, enriched the marinade and cooking methods, creating a truly hybrid dish. Throughout my culinary career, I worked with quite a few Cuban American chefs and cooks, also very intense and very passionate about their food. Now, I did toss it one time last night before I went to bed. Just flipped it over. I got the oven set right now at 325. I will lower it down once I get it in there. Excuse me. Now I'm going to separate it from the marinade, because I'm going to take the marinade and make that into a sauce to pour it into the pork when I pull it. So I got my AR meter. I have that. Whoops. I have that connected to my phone, and as you can see, the probing temperature right now. There's the probe. That's going to get inserted into it. I want to get this to about 201. Pork is going to go into this pan right here. I'm going to try to grab it from the side. Now, what I did was, inside the pan here there is a rack. I'm going to keep that to keep it up off of the bottom. I'm going to dump some more of that marinade on top. And like I said, the oven is set at 325. Probe is in. Let me see what else I need to do here. Take some tin foil. Light on, and in this goes. All right, now I'm going to be cutting up the zucchini. I'm just going to, I'm going to quarter them. No rhyme or reason to this right here method, but I'm just going to cut them up nice and thin so they all cook pretty even. And they're going to go into the cast iron pan with a little bit of olive oil, some butter. I'm going to cook up the onions and the garlic alongside of it. Cast iron, ice cold butter, a little bit of olive oil. Let that blend together. Now I know that Cubans do eat a lot of potatoes, but they also eat a lot of beans. I guess easier to grow, easier to come by. I'm not a big fan of beans, so neither is Marie. So I'm going to go with the next one. I'm going to use the garlic, onions, potatoes. Now I'm not a big linguist of Spanish. The Spanish language or Cuban language, but they are called papas. Get this all down here. Okay, we're going to get this going right here. I'm going to add in a little bit of oregano, Mexican oregano. And I'm also going to add in a little bit more cumin. Ah, the aroma's ready. Okay, got that there. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in the potatoes. Now I put these in the microwave to help it along. Most of the recipes that I've seen for this roast pork mojo didn't actually show any kind of side dishes with it, so I had to do a little bit more research. And yeah, I mean, they basically, like I said, a lot of beans and rice, all right, but they do have potatoes, they do have other vegetables, so that's exactly what I'm going to use it right here. So I'm going to let this cook down a little bit. I'm going to shut it off, put it off to the side, cover it, and then it's going to get put into the oven just before the pork is ready to pull out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little cornstarch just to thicken it up. Now I don't want this to go till it breaks, but in the same token I'm going to make sure that it still retains the flavor. Okay, so this is looking pretty good right here. Now I got to show you. Look at that. My, oh my, oh my. I'll let this cool down a little bit. I'm going to put it back into the pan and I'm going to pull it.
Garlic in the mortar, citrus in the bowl, oregano dancing, cumin takes control, olive oil's dripping, pepper joins the show, mix it all together, that's the Mojo flow. Rub it down, let it soak, pork's about to get that smoky cloak, low and slow, let the flavors grow, we're cooking love with Mojo. Shoulders marinating, dreams begin to rise, wrapped in foil, tucked in, no compromise. Ovens humming softly, time begins to fly. Tender meat awaits, no need to pry. Slice it thick or shred it fine. Serve it hot with zest and brine. From Havana to your plate, this pork's got soul, it's worth the wait. Rub it down, let it soak.
All right, folks, here we go. We got roast pork mojo. Just going to add a little bit of this sauce to it. I always say this, the aromas are unbelievable. And I'll leave a little bit onto the side here. parsley over top. Well, there you have it right there. Listen, everybody, check out the description down in the box. Check out everybody else's collaboration, all the other collaborators. We work pretty hard for this stuff here, so if you wouldn't mind, check it out. Hit that like and subscribe if you like to see what you see. And don't forget, we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. I'm Tom, the Sunday Dinner Chef.